The brave men and women who have served our country faithfully often need our help to successfully transition back into civilian life. Brave Radio is here to highlight veterans and the companies who are making a difference in our veteran community. And now, the host of Brave Radio, Eve Nasby.
Welcome to Brave Radio, where we're focused on engaging our veterans and making a difference in our business community. I'm your host, Eve Nasby, here to highlight the best and brightest that San Diego and this nation have to offer. We have a great show planned today, so let's get started. Online with us today, we have one of my most favorite Marines, Rocky Chavez. Rocky, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you very much for having me here. I've been looking forward to it.
Awesome. Hey, you spent 28 years as a Marine. Thank you for your service.
Well, it was an honor to serve this great country, and being a Marine and having the opportunity to serve with the Army, the Navy, and the Air Force, I would say it was a great experience.
It is, and we all work well together. You know, after that, you were 10 years at the Oceanside City Council, and then you were appointed by Governor Schwarzenegger as a undersecretary and then acting secretary for the California Department of Veteran Affairs. And then, Rocky, if that wasn't enough, in 2012 you were elected to represent the 76th Assembly District, and you're now running for senator. It's quite a career.
Well, it's had a lot of opportunities. I must say, being with the California Department of Veteran Affairs, that was a very rewarding experience. But I could tell you, we have a lot of challenges that aren't being met in the state of California for our veterans that we need to address.
I totally agree with you. And you know what? You've made a significant impact on our veteran community and their families through the laws that you've gotten passed, filling in those gaps you just talked about. Briefly, I'd like for you to just touch on AB 13 and AB 27, both of which you were responsible for, and you were successful in getting those passed. Can you talk to those?
Sure. AB 13 deals with something you'd think would be obvious, especially in California, is allow all those who have served in the military to receive in-state tuition. Now, we give in-state tuition to a number of special groups, but when it came to veterans, the state of California did not allow that. So AB 13 said, regardless of what state you're from, Georgia, Michigan, if you're in California and once you leave the military or during the military, you want to go to college, you would get in-state tuition.
That's outstanding. You know, there's another one, AB 413, and that directly applies to us. We are, as you know, California and America's largest service-disabled veteran-owned business. Talk to AB 413 and how that benefits all the rest of our partners out there who are disabled veteran-owned businesses.
Sure. As you know, a business, especially a small business, is very personal to a veteran. And what this bill did was it allowed a veteran the opportunity to build up a business. But if they moved on because of serving in the military, they passed on, their business would be able to be maintained, and the benefits would still be going to the spouses of the veteran. And as you know, in the military, no one individual serves in the military by themselves. They're married, their spouses are very much connected with it, as long as with their children. We used to call them back in the day dependents, but I think we've gotten smarter on that, recognizing that wives and children very much serve in the military.
That's right.
Redeployment impacts them deeply.
It does.
So recognizing that and allowing the business to carry on with them.
Now, I think that the period of time now is for 3 years following the death of the disabled veteran business owner, right?
That's right. And that was originally headed out somewhat farther, but I was somewhat surprised at the backlash on that, on some different people feeling that even 3 years is too much. But, you know, it's a movement in the right direction, and I'm hopeful in some other years we'll be able to address that even farther.
Well, you know, I think it's important for you as a veteran to be authoring these bills and these laws because you understand from the deepest level. And those people that oppose it, they just don't get it. They don't understand what it takes to be a business owner, let alone a disabled business owner. So thank you again for your advocacy on our behalf. You know, AB 583 is the last one I wanted to chat about. Talk about that.
Well, 583 was came from the field. It was a challenge to get through. we're happy to see it, but It was nice to do it, but I think the other two we talked about is much more substantial. But I appreciate you bringing.
Yeah, no. Providing employment protection to members of the National Guard who work in California and are called up by their governor in another state. I mean, that's important. And again, the bottom line is that you are a veteran, a member of our military, advocating for our veterans. And Rocky, our listeners are those folks who are veterans in transition, folks who are looking to hire and considering hiring a veteran. And I think it's important for our listeners to understand the traits of the veterans, what you bring to the table, and that's leadership, thinking outside the box, overcoming challenges and obstacles without losing your initiative, just to name a few. And we just want to thank you for demonstrating those and for representing veterans and their families well. For those who want to support you and talk more to you about these things, where can they reach you?
Well, we have a website. As you know, I'm running for the United States Senate. And so my website right now we're actively working is Rocky Chavez for Senate. You can get a hold of me there. Or I'm going to actually give you something new. I'm going to give you my personal cell.
Oh, my goodness. Let me get a pen. Hold on.
Okay. This is my personal cell if you want to talk to me about it. 760-805-5838. That's 760-805-5838. For veterans, call me. If you have something you think we need to take care of in the state of California, be willing to work with you on it. As I always talk to the press or I talk to veterans, people who are elected need to understand they work for the system. And we can only do that well if we're available to you. So you have my cell number. If you got an idea, give me a call.
That's awesome. Anything else you'd like to add before we wrap up, Rocky?
These are challenging times. This issue with ISIS isn't going away. And until we get the political strength and leadership to address this, our military is still going to be called upon. And we need to make sure that we always remember that once they accomplish the mission, it's not over. There's a price that has to be paid many decades later, and that we will always be there for them to make sure they're taken care of.
That's awesome. Well, thank you, and good luck to you on your run for the Senate. And again, give your number out if anybody wants to talk to you.
Yes, please do. 760-805-5838.
All right, Rocky, thank you so much. Thanks for being a part of our show, and thank you again for your service to this great nation.
Well, thank you for having this show. I'm sure you're going to be very successful, and you're going to be carrying the message forward for all of us. So thank you.
You're welcome. You're listening to Brave Radio, where we focus on matching veteran talent with innovative companies that make a difference in our community and in our nation. Follow us on Twitter at Brave Jobs or like us on Facebook to stay up to date with the latest news and trends. I'm your host, Eve Nasby, and we'll be right back after this short break. Don't go away. Tired of your employees being late?
There was so much traffic.
Tired of poor excuses and poor presentations?
My kid ate my homework.
Tired of employees just not being able to handle the pressure?
You mean I gotta work a full 8 hours today?
Skip the hassles and excuses and hire individuals that are trained in leadership, confident in their abilities, adaptable to change, and focused on teamwork. Hire a veteran. More than just a patriotic gesture, hiring a veteran of the United States military comes with a host of benefits and tax credits and can provide your company with valuable leadership, organization, and accountability. Allow the Brave to help your progressive business connect with qualified veteran candidates today and find out more by visiting thebrave.us. That's THEBRAVE.us.
Easter Seals Work First Military and Veteran Services provides free one-on-one personalized employment assistance for local veterans through their Bob Hope Veteran Support Program. Easter Seals' team of employment specialists is dedicated to achieving successful, long-term job placements that benefit both the veteran and the employer. Learn more about how you can receive services, connect with a future employee, or make a donation by visiting easterseals.com/SouthernCal. That's easterseals.com/SouthernCal.
Hey, boss.
Yeah.
I need to hire someone. Our workload's increased and, man, I could use some help.
What are you looking for?
I need someone unlike Ben. Who doesn't freak out, when the copier breaks and the phones are down and the receptionist calls in sick?
What do you need?
Leadership. I need a leader who can just get it done with little direction and ahead of time would be great. With the prima donnas floating around our department like Sally and Jason, it's a challenge, man, to get things done. I need a team player, trained in leadership, confident in their abilities, and adaptable to change.
There's only one place you're going to find talent like that.
Show me where.
Our United States veterans. Call Eve right now at 619-244-3000 or log on to thebrave.us and let's hire a veteran. It's good for business. It's good for America.
Brave is a part of America's largest service-disabled veteran-owned business, Amerit Consulting. We are dedicated to placing great companies with great veterans. Call today. Welcome back. You're listening to Brave Radio here on KCBQ AM 1170 The Answer, streaming live on the web at am1170theanswer.com. I'm your host, Eve Nasby, here with my good friend, Alan Lerchbacker from Naval Coding. Alan, welcome.
Thanks, Eve. Really good to be here.
Thank you for being a part of our show. We talk about highlighting the best and brightest, and you're kind of one of the best and brightest I've met. So thank you again for honoring us with your presence. What I'd like for you to do, Alan, is first off, we're going to talk about the company that you just purchased and the growth potential there. But first of all, I want our listeners to understand who you are, your background, where you came from. So can we start with your 22 years in the Navy?
That's great. Well, I was fortunate enough to get to go to the U.S. Naval Academy. I visited there when I was 12 and told my dad I was going to go there. And my dad said, you can't, you have to know a congressman. And so a 12-year-old's going to go, how hard is that?
Right.
So I made up my mind I was going to go because they told me I couldn't. And
right on.
Once I got there, when I looked around, I said, wow, what am I doing here? Because these guys are just phenomenal. Mm-hmm. And so graduated in 1974, went into EOD in the diving community. Mm-hmm. And then I was fortunate enough to get to travel to 41 different countries and have a lot of great commands. Then I got sent to Guam. I ran the shipyard in Guam. Then I got sent to Long Beach to run the shipyard in Long Beach. And about 6 months into that, they closed Long Beach. And so I got to close the shipyard, which not too many people get to do. Yeah. But we placed 2,700 people in about 11 months, and I was one of the people we placed.
Oh, my goodness. All right, so I'm going this way. I'm going to talk about this because when I first met you at a networking event for the Academy a few years ago, I was struck by your humility, and even more so after I heard the story of the Challenger and how you were in charge of the recovery. Can you talk about that?
Sure. So on January 28th, 1986, the Challenger exploded, and I was at Commander Norfolk and at the fleet there, and we got the call to go run the operation. And so on the 8th of February, I got down there with my team. Mm-hmm. That was about 8 people, and we grew to 3,000.
Oh, my gosh.
So we spent the next 214 days searching 452 miles of the ocean.
Wow.
We'd never really searched below a couple hundred feet, and it showed because we had a lot to learn. Mm-hmm. And I think that's one of the really valuable things with the military people is usually you're given a task but very little direction, and you just go and execute. And so that's what we were able to do, and that's how we grew the team to over 3,000 people, and just a great operation, a national tragedy, of course, but for us it was just an excellent opportunity.
So I think the skills there, obviously leadership, doing something with nothing, but talk about your training, because I think some of our listeners, business owners, hiring managers, might not understand the depth of training that you guys go through.
Well, the really great opportunity is that you're really given a lot of latitude in what you do. When I was 22 years old, I had 168 people, and they said I was the repair officer and EOD officer on the Kennedy, and they said, go fix the ship. And so I knew very little, but I knew my chiefs knew a lot more. And so you learn how to, although the people work for you, you learn how to learn from them. And once they know that you're going to support them, they're going to follow you, and they're going to help you learn. So just a great opportunity.
So at 22 years old, you had 160 people on report to you.
Yes.
And most 22-year-olds out there
don't have that.
Don't at all. That's remarkable. And that's, again, one of the qualities I think that comes from hiring our military. And I'm going to say this over and over. You need to look to your military for those open positions you have. And speaking of open positions...
We
Talk
do.
about your new company.
So right now we have about 150 employees, and I would like to grow that to 1,000. I was the first CEO for Austell, and I have to tell you what that means.
Yes.
So that meant that I had 47 acres, 66 people, and that's about it.
You had no
I
backlog with this company.
No backlog,
no sales with this
I
company.
had a trailer and a dog.
Yes.
And so we grew that to 1,200 people, and a lot of the people that we hired, because I knew that they knew what they were doing, they knew how to pick up and take over, were military people. And so we grew to 1,200 while I was there, and now we're 4,700 people building the next 2 ships for the Navy.
Unbelievable. And when you came on board, you had no sales, no backlog, and then you had $100 million worth of backlog.
In less than 2 years.
In less than 2 years.
And now we're over $1 billion.
Unbelievable. And people wonder why you should hire military. Listen to me. There's good reasons. It adds to your bottom line.
It really does.
So talk about the different positions you want to hire for within your organization in the next 12 months. People listening that are looking for work or know somebody who is looking for a job, somebody who might be transitioning out in the next 6 months. What are you specifically looking for?
So what we've just started an apprentice program, and so we're going to be looking to start out with laborers. So really, you don't have to have any training because we're going to train you. It's a 3-year program. We're setting up to get where in the end you're going to be a master journeyman. So you know at least 2 trades, if not 3. We're looking to expand our operation into several other fields besides just the blasting and painting. So if you've got some kind of shipboard experience, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the ship superintendents. If you led on a ship, if you understand how ships work, if you understand how shipyards work, those are the people we're looking for. And can I give you my email?
You have to. And then we're also going to ask you for your phone number. So go ahead.
Okay, sure. So it's Alan, ALAN, at navalcoating.com. And my phone number is 626-644-6452. That's 626-644-6452. I'm giving it to you twice because we really want you to call me. You're calling right to the CEO and president of Naval Coating.
That's awesome. You're listening to Brave Radio here on KCBQ AM 1170 The Answer, streaming live on the web at am1170theanswer.com. I'm your host, Eve Nasby, here with Alan Lerchbacker. So, Alan, we have your phone number. We have your email address. We know where to find you. We know the types of positions, and you're doing some training around that. So you're saying that I can come to you with little to no experience, and I can get some 3 years of training. And is that a paid training program?
That's all paid program. So you'd come in as a laborer on the very bottom levels of what we do, and you'd learn from the bottom up. But the really good thing is that if once you've been in the program for a year, I will train the people for 4 hours a day on what you want to become, and not just. So we're not just training you to be a laborer. We're training you to really learn a major skill.
And leadership.
Yes.
Right? You're looking for leadership.
Oh, that's what we really depend on the people. And so it's kind of a self-governing workforce that we're trying to build, is where people will run with the ball.
Give an example of when in the military you were faced with a challenge and how you overcame that challenge without losing your initiative.
Wow. So I was sent from Pearl Harbor, where I was head of special operations for all the Pacific, and I was sent to Guam to run a shipyard. So I had never been in a shipyard since I was a lieutenant, so that's about 15 years. When I was in the shipyard, I was on the other side of the fence, and now I was going to be on the shipyard side of the fence. And so I had 2,500 employees, so just a huge opportunity to learn, and a lot of great people to help teach me.
And that's exactly the type of people you are looking to come to your organization, Naval Coating.
Yes.
All right. We're going to wrap up this segment. We're running out of time. Give out that email address and your phone number one more time.
So it's Alan, ALAN, at navalcoating, NAVALCOATING.com. And it's my phone number, 626-644-6452.
Alan, it's a pleasure having you on the show. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Eve.
You're listening to Brave Radio, where we focus on matching veteran talent with innovative companies that make a difference in our community and in our nation. Follow us on Twitter at Brave Jobs, or like us on Facebook to stay up to date with the latest news and trends. I'm your host, Eve Nasby, and we will be right back after this short break. Don't go away.
Hey, boss.
Yeah.
I need to hire someone. Our workload's increased and man, I could use some help.
What are you looking for?
I need someone unlike Ben, who doesn't freak out, when the copier breaks and the phones are down and the receptionist calls in sick.
What do you need?
Leadership. I need a leader who can just get it done with little direction and ahead of time would be great. With the prima donnas floating around our department like Sally and Jason, it's a challenge, man, to get things done. I need a team player, trained in leadership, confident in their abilities, and adaptable to change.
There's only one place you're going to find talent like that.
Show me where.
Our United States veterans. Call Eve right now at 619-244-3000 or log on to thebrave.us and let's hire a veteran. It's good for business. It's good for America.
Brave is a part of America's largest service-disabled veteran-owned business, Amerit Consulting. We are dedicated to placing great companies with great veterans. Call today.
Easter Seals Work First Military and Veteran Services provides free one-on-one personalized employment assistance for local veterans through their Bob Hope Veteran Support Program. Easter Seals' team of employment specialists is dedicated to achieving successful, long-term job placements that benefit both the veteran and the employer. Learn more about how you can receive services, connect with a future employee, or make a donation by visiting easterseals.com/SouthernCal. That's easterseals.com/SouthernCal.
Tired of your employees being late?
There was so much traffic.
Tired of poor excuses and poor presentations?
My kid ate my homework.
Tired of employees just not being able to handle the pressure?
You mean I gotta work a full 8 hours today?
Skip the hassles and excuses and hire individuals that are trained in leadership, confident in their abilities, adaptable to change, and focused on teamwork. Hire a veteran. More than just a patriotic gesture, hiring a veteran of the United States military comes with a host of benefits and tax credits and can provide your company with valuable leadership, organization, and accountability. Allow the Brave to help your progressive business connect with qualified veteran candidates today and find out more by visiting thebrave.us. That's THEBRAVE.US. You're listening to Brave Radio here on KCBQ AM 1170 The Answer, streaming live on the web at AM1170theanswer.com. I'm your host, Eve Nasby, back here in studio with John and Kaz from Easter Seals. Yay, welcome back, gentlemen.
No, I appreciate you having us back.
Thrilled to be here.
We are so excited for you guys. And I think over the next few weeks, we're going to be talking about veterans in transition, and you're going to give them tips and hints on how to do it successfully. And I want those listeners out there who are not veterans who are listening to stay tuned, because John and Kaz have some really great tidbits. If you're thinking about changing industries, if you're thinking about changing jobs, or if you are in transition, these tips and hints are for you. So don't touch that dial. So without further ado, John and Kaz, I know there's a process that you take each and every veteran through during their transition process. What is the first step in that process?
We call that process discovery. And generally, I think when most folks come to us, they're anxious. They're looking for employment. That's why they come to our program at Easter Seals, with the hope, with the support that we receive from the Bob Hope's support program to get there. But I think they're anticipating that the first question we're going to ask is, so what do you want to do?
Yeah.
That's never the first question.
It's not.
Oftentimes,
you don't say, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up?
No, we don't. And we actually don't even sometimes get there during the first discussion. It's really all about them. Who are they? What's important to them? What do they value?
Outside of work, outside of the tasks of the duties of a job.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because the goal here at the end of the day is to connect them with meaningful employment. And that's meaningful as defined by the individual veteran. And so often, society imposes limitations upon an individual. People impose their own limitations, and veterans are pretty good at imposing their own limitations. Right. And I think the employers are also good at imposing sometimes a limitation or a bias, because they think a veteran may kind of come out of a particular mold, and therefore they should do that same mold in their civilian employment that they did while they were on active duty. So
the tragedy of taking a look at your MOS and comparing it to what you're going to do in the civilian world, that's not always right. So just because you were a plumber in the military doesn't mean you should be a plumber in the civilian world. Well, exactly. An employer shouldn't look at that.
Well, exactly. Because if you really think about it, sometimes people go in the military not doing what they wanted to do. And if you spent your time in the military learning XYZ trade, not liking what you're doing, and you get out and everyone keeps telling you should go in that trade because your skills, and I'm using quotes there, tell you to go into that trade and you didn't like it then, what's going to say you're going to like it in the civilian world? So, you spend a good portion of your life working and a good portion of your life sleeping. And there's not a whole lot of time just for you and whatever you wish to do outside of sleeping and working. So you might as well, discover yourself and find a way in order to take what you're doing for work and employment and use that to have a fulfillment in some way, whatever that is to the individual.
Kaz, that makes so much sense to me. So how do you guys walk a veteran through the discovery process?
We don't spend a lot of time on aptitude surveys, online work. For us, because we provide an individual one-on-one service, it's all about getting to know the individual. So that over a cup of coffee, sitting at a local coffee shop in your neighborhood is how we really have a chance to get to know the individual. Since everybody on our teams are veterans, we're already able to kind of break down that initial barrier of how do we kind of trust each other in that early feeling out period. But it really comes down to, hey, let's talk about you. What are you good at? What do you like to do? What are you passionate about? We don't talk about the dream job. We don't talk about your ideal circumstance. It's where are you comfortable? Where do you think you thrive best? And generally during the course of that conversation, you'll see a spark or a tidbit that'll come out during that conversation. And maybe when we recap it, we'll say, wow, we had a great conversation today. But boy, I'll tell you, Eve, when you talked about coaching or training or having a difficult problem that you really kind of dig into the weeds to solve, whether that's a people problem or a mechanical problem, we hold a mirror up and let them know that's where you seem to kind of have your most interest. Maybe we can find a way that we can align that interest into a particular field, so you can find something that's meaningful and purposeful. Fulfillment, as Kaz said. I mean, that's really what we're striving for at the end of the day.
So you're not trying to put a square peg in a round hole and pushing somebody through a process. It's very relational. It's very customized according to that particular person's passions. Right.
We never provide the job listing. That's kind of, we take the alternate approach, which is let's find out what you're important about, and then how do we define that maybe for a particular field, and then connect you with individuals in that field.
You're listening to Brave Radio here on KCBQ AM 1170 The Answer, streaming live on the web at am1170theanswer.com. I'm your host, Eve Nasby, here with Kaz and John from Easter Seals. So we're talking about discovery, this first phase of the process that you walk our transitioning veterans through. And John, you talked about the limits that veterans put on themselves. Can you talk more about that?
I think a lot of times, Kaz mentioned it before, right? People do stuff in the military primarily because they're called orders. It's not would you like to's. How about would you think about? I mean, they're called orders.
Would you mind swabbing the deck, please?
Well, I mean, we're polite about it, respectful, but at the end of the day, stuff still has to get done.
Sure.
Like stuff has to get done in any business.
Right.
And there are hierarchies. But I think a lot of times an individual thinks, a Marine or an Army, a soldier in particular, a lot of people think, well, you obviously did security, armed security type stuff, therefore you should do security on the outside world, or you should be a police officer. If you were a senior individual, whether a senior enlisted advisor or senior officer, you probably should go get a government job. You should work in the defense sector. If you have a particular skill set, maybe you are a radar operator on a piece of equipment that's only used in the military, well, then you ought to go work for the company that builds that, or the training organization that trains sailors to do that. So we impose those limitations on ourselves, and we're part of our objective is to kind of break that barrier down and say, oh, do you like that?
Right. Give me an example.
What you're interested in?
Talk about some people that you guys have encountered during this process of discovery, and talk about how there was a veteran that wanted to do something out of the ordinary and different from what they did in the military.
My first example is a great Navy sailor. His name is Lawrence, and he was a bosun mate in the Navy. So that meant he did a lot of kind of the basic shipboard operations of line handling, anchors, small boat operations, painting, ship maintenance, driving the ship. So kind of very classic Navy skills. But his real passion and interest was gaming.
Oh my!
So when we kind of dug into that, and
complete opposite,
right, exactly,
yeah. Right. Sure. We're not just talking, some guy that just wants to kind of sit there with his headphones on and play Halo with all of his contemporaries online. I mean, his passion really was kind of was gaming, but it was the gaming industry. So we took that passion and skill and thought, okay, well, where are ways that we can develop that? Are you interested in the programming aspect of that? Is it the marketing, advertising? He's a young man in his late 20s, so he's kind of the perfect demographic for the market that a lot of those companies are seeking. Well, as it turned out, Lawrence eventually got a job in the entertainment industry in the Orange County area, and he's doing office management along with some of the marketing aspects of this entertainment company that's actually a subsidiary of the Disney company. So he actually was able to take all those great skills that he learned in the military and his passion and then combine them into something that he really finds meaningful and purposeful. That's
outstanding. And without you, he'd probably be banging his head against the wall looking for Navy kind of ship jobs, right?
Well, and that's what he was doing when we encountered him.
or took the first available, which tends to be what happens. They take the only thing that comes to them, even though it has nothing to do with anything that they want to do in life. So that's what we're trying to get around.
We've got more time. Can you guys give us another example?
Oh, certainly. So I've worked with Christina. She was in the Navy, air traffic control personnel.
That is a stressful job.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my goodness.
Exactly. And she went to college and got a degree in food and nutrition. All right. When I started working with her, we were trying to figure out what she wanted to do. Obviously, she went to school for a specific something, which in some cases is not always what they want to do, but what they fall into. But in this case, that's what she wanted to do.
Right.
Well, how could she relate that? And how could you relate the skill sets that you learn in the Navy under the stressful job of air traffic control into a career outside? So we were looking for the things that she found that she was most passionate about. She liked the health aspect. So we were able to work with her. She got herself a personal training certificate. So she'd be a personal trainer if she wanted to. We also worked to see what aspects of the fitness was what made her tick. And every time we talked, it would always go to the health and welfare of people. So how that relates to them. So we were able to look a little outside the box and come up with ideas. And she was lucky and fortunate enough through some networking and some dedication and hard work to land a job at the food bank, San Diego Food Bank. All right. So you got to understand, the food bank itself, they serve I believe it's 1 in 6 people in San Diego County. So you can't get more mass, helping with them. Exactly.
Wow.
More mass than that.
Right.
And she works with the people who help, I guess you can say, dole out the food at the banks. And she helps train them and helps keep them motivated through her motivation. And that's a stressful job. So she was able to handle stress in the Navy.
Right.
That directly translated to the civilian world.
And now she's coordinating all these people coming at her instead of airplanes coming at her. I get it.
It's, sometimes we fail to realize that, we do put limitations on ourselves because in a sense, we just don't know.
Right.
So, everyone always talks about what hard skills we have, what technical trainings we have. Well, the military helps to develop and, in a sense, nurture the soft skills.
Leadership.
Which, no one really looks at. It's, when you look at the resume, it doesn't say, I have the ability to motivate. Like, you may say I'm motivated, but then they're going to just glass that over.
Right.
They're going to look to see how many people you were in charge of and so on and so forth. And those limitations are the limitations we're trying to get past. We're just trying to, open their eyes, open a window, open a door, whichever, way they wish to get outside of their box, and use that to help them.
Right.
I think a great example is Alan mentioned at Naval Coding how he was looking for a maintenance manager. It's something that he shared with us as he was departing. So while he is looking for folks that have some shipboard experience, he was pretty broad in kind of the aspect of what he was looking for. Almost anybody that's possibly been in the Navy or Marine Corps has some level of shipboard experience or knowledge of shipboard operations. But that maintenance manager, based on the fact that Alan says he's very open-minded to look for some of those soft skills, there are many individuals that are in the Navy, Marine Corps, and I'd argue for the Army and Air Force as well. They've managed maintenance projects.
Yes.
So maybe it wasn't particularly a shipboard coding mechanism, but large-scale aviation maintenance. It could be submarine maintenance, equipment operations. Marine Corps operating an armory.
Yes.
I mean, there's aspects where they've managed large-scale pieces of equipment where they've had to meet standardized procedures, regulations, OSHA standards, all of those things that they know how to manage, as well as inspire people to perform their jobs properly. Okay. So I think there's a lot of folks that are probably really capable of excelling in Alan's organization based on those backgrounds.
And with the seconds that we have left, I'm going to put in a plug for you that Naval Coatings can reach out to you and you guys can help place that maintenance manager. And so if there's anybody out there that has an opening and you need help, give John a call. Tell him how to get a hold of you, John.
You can reach us through easterseals.com, Southern California, and that'll connect you to our Military Veteran Services program.
Awesome. John and Kaz, thank you once again for being a part of our show. We'd like to have you back next week as well.
Oh, can't wait.
You're listening to Brave Radio, where we focus on matching veteran talent with innovative companies that make a difference in our community and in our nation. Follow us on Twitter at Brave Jobs or like us on Facebook to stay up to date with the latest news and trends. I'm your host, Eve Nasby, and we will be right back after this short break. Don't go away. Tired of your employees being late?
There was so much traffic.
Tired of poor excuses and poor presentations?
My kid ate my homework.
Tired of employees just not being able to handle the pressure?
You mean I gotta work a full 8 hours today?
Skip the hassles and excuses and hire individuals that are trained in leadership, confident in their abilities, adaptable to change, and focused on teamwork. Hire a veteran. More than just a patriotic gesture, hiring a veteran of the United States military comes with a host of benefits and tax credits and can provide your company with valuable leadership, organization, and accountability. Allow the Brave to help your progressive business connect with qualified veteran candidates today and find out more by visiting thebrave.us. That's THEBRAVE.us.
Easter Seals Work First Military and Veteran Services provides free one-on-one personalized employment assistance for local veterans through their Bob Hope Veteran Support Program. Easter Seals' team of employment specialists is dedicated to achieving successful, long-term job placements that benefit both the veteran and the employer. Learn more about how you can receive services, connect with a future employee, or make a donation by visiting easterseals.com/SouthernCal. That's easterseals.com/SouthernCal.
Hey, boss.
Yeah.
I need to hire someone. Our workload's increased and man, I could use some help.
What are you looking for?
I need someone unlike Ben, who doesn't freak out, when the copier breaks and the phones are down and the receptionist calls in sick.
What do you need?
Leadership. I need a leader who can just get it done with little direction and ahead of time would be great. With the prima donnas floating around our department like Sally and Jason, it's a challenge, man, to get things done. I need a team player, trained in leadership, confident in their abilities, and adaptable to change.
There's only one place you're going to find talent like that.
Show me where.
Our United States veterans. Call Eve right now at 619-244-3000 or log on to thebrave.us and let's hire a veteran. It's good for business. It's good for America.
Brave is a part of America's largest service-disabled veteran-owned business, Amerit Consulting. We are dedicated to placing great companies with great veterans. Call today. You're listening to Brave Radio here on KCBQ, AM 1170 The Answer. Streaming live on the web at am1170theanswer.com. I'm your host, Eve Nasby, here with Teddi, Reilly, and Dena Ayala from San Diego HR Forum. Welcome, ladies.
Welcome.
I'm so excited you guys are here. Teddi, I've known you for a while, a long time, and you're one of the most well-known HR professionals here in San Diego. I don't want to make you blush, but you are loved and respected and admired by many. So thank you for being a part of our show. And Dena, thank you for dragging her here. So Teddi, you are the past president of San Diego HR Forum, and that's what we're here to talk about today. San Diego HR Forum is a nonprofit human resources group serving the San Diego business community by providing a setting for professional networking, development, and leadership. And it's the mission of SDHRF to develop business leaders with strategic and innovative practices. Teddi, can you share why you decided to support San Diego HR Forum? You, as a HR professional that you are here in the community, could have chosen any organization. Why did you choose to put your energy and time into the HR Forum?
Well, as you mentioned, the goals and missions of the forum are to provide support to all industries. And one of the things that I liked about the San Diego HR Forum is the value that the forum brings not only to the participant, but the businesses they support and the growth of both the business and the professional. I like the fact that it covers all levels, whether it be the person just entering their career and starting out in HR, or the leader of the pack, the person that leads the groups. I saw that it provided resources for owners of small businesses and the people that they might send or that they came themselves, that they could take back with them that made a difference in what they did on a regular basis. Because daily we're all supporting customers, employees, and we want to do the right thing.
So you have people from very entry level who just think, gosh, I just want to help people, so I'm going to get into HR, to those amazing leaders like Dena sitting here, who is like, yes, I love people, I want to help, but I also have a strategy behind it, so you can help all levels of those HR folks.
We feel that we're doing that and that our programs are appropriate across all those levels, and that's what's making a huge difference today.
So how have you seen these types of programs change over the years?
Well, personally, what I've seen is that the programs in the last couple of years in particular have been very fine-tuned toward relevant subject matter that's appropriate not only for the practitioner and the support groups that are there, but for the organizations themselves, whether it be lots of information about healthcare reform, information focused on talent development or recruiting, for instance.
Yes.
Also, information about how HR professionals can grow and develop their careers.
That's tremendous. Thank you so much. And Dena, you're awfully quiet over there.
I'm just waiting for my turn.
Well, you obviously built a lot of strong momentum over the years. It's great to see this nonprofit thrive. There are others out there that are doing okay, but I think one of the differences that the San Diego HR Forum brings to the table is that you're very picky about who you allow to join as far as the vendors. So there's not pesky people circling around these HR professionals. You can feel free to have a peaceful environment in which you can learn, you can collaborate with your peers, etc. So I think it's a really healthy environment that you guys have developed. So Dena, as the current president, can you share what unique initiatives San Diego HR Forum is doing in 2016?
Absolutely. Actually, I'd love to get into that. I want to jump back just a quick minute because Teddi was highlighting on our programs and what makes the difference as far as us and the difference between another nonprofit supporting HR and us.
Yes.
We've had just an enormous, tremendous, actually, I should say, response to people coming in and wanting to speak to our group, from folks like Chris Mason flying in from Sears, to Angelica Gamble-Wong here from Rubio's. Our speaker content is just amazing. So that kind of sets us a little bit apart. When you bring content that just really hits home, people can bring it back to their workplace and educate their own, companies. It's
not just listening to somebody talk and you can't take any of the information back with you. This is actionable stuff.
It's applicable. Absolutely. Right. And our membership is huge now. We have over 200 members. That continues to grow. Our membership, actually, at the monthly meetings, people come and, we've sold out last month. It's huge response. And yes, we do have a vendor ratio that's, 70-30. So only 30% of our membership could be vendors. But that 70% of true HR professionals coming to grow is it's huge.
You're listening to Brave Radio here on KCBQ, AM 1170, The Answer, streaming live on the web at am1170theanswer.com. I'm your host, Eve Nasby, here with our friends from San Diego HR Forum, Teddi Reilly and Dena Ayala. So, Dena, as the current president, tell us what is going on. What's coming up in 2016? I know there's folks out there who are listening who are HR interested. Tell us what's out there for them.
Well, we're absolutely focused on professional growth. That is the core to us, not only our monthly programs, but we have programs such as our mentorship program, which we did last year. It was a tremendous success.
So tell me about that mentorship. You got me coming in. I think I want to help people in HR. What can you do for me?
So last year we had over 20 strong leaders, our HR leaders within the whole county, coming together with 20 mentorees and spending the whole year training, coaching, working with any kind of response to anything that they may need, as well as career pathing with them. And that was huge. I mean, if I could actually share an example with you.
Yes, please.
There was a gentleman named Tim Chaplin, former Marine. He actually achieved rank of first sergeant, and his MOS was HR management, but he needed a network. He needed to find a place in which he could get out and actually, get a foot in the door. He came to us, and I'm really proud to say that just last Tuesday, he told me that he landed his job only 1 month after actually exiting. So
wow,
we're really proud of that. I mean, if we could just help our members just grow within their career, that's what we're here for.
I would love to have him on the show to talk about his experience.
He said he would come.
He would. Awesome. Yay. Made my millennium. That's great. What else have you got coming up?
So this year, we're actually going to hold, if you're in HR, we're going to be holding the HR event of the year. It's what we're calling the Executive of the Year event. It's going to be the largest out of any of the events this year. Basically, we're going to have 350 people or more coming and showcasing what HR professionals are doing. If you're to be the HR leaders, the rising stars within our community, or HR groups, we're going to all come together and just kind of showcase that and make sure everyone knows what HR leaders are doing.
That's awesome. Tell me what makes, and Teddi, I'll open this back up to you too if you want to talk, but what makes, in your mind, a great HR leader?
I believe it's the HR leaders like Teddi herself who are willing to give back to community personally, that have people that have worked for them for years and followed, that have been able to grow their careers, have supported them. But I'll open that up.
And I think that we see that in the forum. We see leaders that come that maybe are in the twilight years of their career, even, that are more than willing to invest in those that have been in their careers for a while or just entering. We have college students that are in HR programs. As Dena mentioned, we have transitioning military personnel that are coming and that are interested. We're finding a lot of transplants to San Diego who are coming from other communities.
Yes.
And coming to the meetings, not only to network, but to find out what's going on locally. And it's exciting because as an HR leader, you have the opportunity to really make an investment in something that's going to go way into the future.
Yes.
And to me, that's very exciting.
It is so exciting. Thank you, ladies, for being a part of our show today. And I want to put it out there to any veteran who's interested in a human resources career. I want you to contact us, and I will personally pay for your admission to a San Diego HR Forum meeting. I want you to meet Teddi. I want you to meet Dena. I want you to get inspired, and I want you to follow your dreams in HR if that's for you. Dena and Teddi, thank you so much for being a part of our show. Can you please tell our listeners how they can learn more about the San Diego HR Forum?
You can visit us on our website at sdhrforum.com. Please come, visit us and see what all we're doing as far as our programs. I also welcome anyone who's interested in recognizing a peer and HR leader in town to please contact us, because we are looking for nominations. Again, we're trying to showcase what HR folks across the county are doing. So please contact us.
If you're working for a company and you have a phenomenal HR leader, reach out to Dena and give us that website again.
It's sdhrforum.com.
sdhrforum.com. All right. Thank you. I'm Eve Nasby, and you've been listening to Brave Radio here on KCBQ AM 1170 The Answer. If you want to find out more about how you can hire top veteran talent, or if you're interested in being a guest on our show, visit our website at www.thebrave.us. That's www.thebrave.us. Send us a tweet at Brave Jobs or like our Facebook page. From all of our guests and me, thanks for joining us. And until next Monday, may God bless our veterans and God bless America.
Thanks for listening to Brave Radio. If you know a veteran looking for work, or if your company is hiring, call Eve at Brave at 619-244-3000. Give her a tweet at Brave Jobs and connect with them on Facebook. To be a guest on the show, visit thebrave.us.
Look up and I see the way you
of your employees being late?
There was so much traffic.
Tired of poor excuses and poor presentations?
My kid ate my homework.
Tired of employees just not being able to handle the pressure?
You mean I gotta work a full 8 hours today?
Skip the hassles and excuses and hire individuals that are trained in leadership, confident in their abilities, adaptable to change, and focused on teamwork. Hire a veteran. More than just a patriotic gesture, hiring a veteran of the United States military comes with a host of benefits and tax credits and can provide your company with valuable leadership, organization, and accountability. Allow the Brave to help your progressive business connect with qualified veteran candidates today and find out more by visiting thebrave.us. That's THEBRAVE.us.
Easter Seals Work First Military and Veteran Services provides free one-on-one personalized employment assistance for local veterans through their Bob Hope Veteran Support Program. Easter Seals' team of employment specialists is dedicated to achieving successful, long-term job placements that benefit both the veteran and the employer. Learn more about how you can receive services, connect with a future employee, or make a donation by visiting easterseals.com/SouthernCal. That's easterseals.com/SouthernCal.
Hey, boss.
Yeah.
I need to hire someone. Our workload's increased and man, I could use some help.
What are you looking for?
I need someone unlike Ben, who doesn't freak out, when the copier breaks and the phones are down and the receptionist calls in sick.
What do you need?
Leadership. I need a leader who can just get it done with little direction and ahead of time would be great. With the prima donnas floating around our department like Sally and Jason, it's a challenge, man, to get things done. I need a team player, trained in leadership, confident in their abilities, and adaptable to change.
There's only one place you're going to find talent like that.
Show me where.
Our United States veterans. Call Eve right now at 619-244-3000 or log on to thebrave.us and let's hire a veteran. It's good for business. It's good for America.
Brave is a part of America's largest service-disabled veteran-owned business.